Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too. How are you?
I'm so good. Nice to meet you. I'm Peter Bruce from Readers TV, and I'm here to seek for more gratification about your knowledge, about your life. We have seen you being one of the prominent, principled young men, and you are focused towards your career. Could you mind to tell you? Could you mind to tell us what is your full names?
I'm Dennis Kioko, and most of the people know me by the name African Counselor or even the Messenger at Africa.
Please, can you share with us some of the ideas, some of your secrets that you use passionately, follow up your dreams and attain that goal?
I do mind. And the first aspect that I always consider is self-discipline. The first and the best victory is to conquer self, as we know, because if you don't discipline yourself, the world will just do it for you in one way or the other. As we know, charisma can take you up the mountains, but only character can sustain you there. Don't be like an octopus in a roller skates, where there is a lot of movement, but you never know if it's going forward, backward, or even sideways. So you must master yourself because mastering yourself is true power, and mastering others becomes a mere strength. Develop the habit of delaying gratification. That is, don't rush to things, and by so doing, you won't just live in the world of I wish I knew.
Yeah, it is true. But how can you do this to achieve this now in effective way?
As we know, self discipline is all about controlling yourself from every distraction of your life. So, the first thing that I always consider is avoiding any tempting environment. Like, I may avoid tempting friends, TV programs, websites. Secondly, I ensure that I have planned everything in my life. Even the little things I always plan for, like what to wear, eat, or go. Thirdly, I try to have things in my life. I take up activities that have the capacity to stretch me a bit. I try some challenging and feared tasks, and mostly I always start with the hard tasks. Fourth, I have a life coach or a personal trainer. These are the focused men or women who you share the same ground of career. They will help you to stay focused, especially if you need. If you become open to them and when you need help, they will be there for you. Fifth, I emulate people who are self disciplined. They have the habits that are so good. Like, as we know that habits are caught and not taught. So if you stay close to focused men and women, you will too have the passion to achieve this. And lastly, I always work hard for me positive habits like appreciating, encouraging others, praying, visiting others, listening to good music, sleeping early, waking up early, and I love others without expecting back anything.
You have great ideas, my dear brother. And I think they are helping someone outside there who is watching this. Now, in this generation that we are living in, how can I deal with these things to do with sexual immorality?
One area where self discipline comes in handy is dealing with sexual immorality, which is so rampant in our generation today. In fact, the most powerful temptation that I have ever come across is sex. Using the example of Joseph and Potiphar's wife, I can say that this temptation needs supernatural resistance. You have to you have to understand first the reason as to why it was created. First, the first reason that it was created, it was for procreation. If not, if you are not doing it for procreation, just abstain from it. Secondly, God is not pleased with it, and God is not pleased with the lawbreakers, and He promises destruction on them, those who law break. So, if you have this knowledge, you will find it very easy to overcome this.
I agree with you. But what if, in the case of finding myself in that trap, what should I do now?
Okay, admit that it has happened and go down on your knees and ask for forgiveness from God. Because it's only in the absence of self discipline where people will try to twist words to suit to their insatiable, lustful desires. You hear them call adultery an extramarital affair, fornication a premarital affair, and most unfortunately, a sin is called a mistake. But only self discipline can make you overcome the trap of sexual temptations, love of money, and even the greed for power, and so many other injustices. Think of long term consequences more than the short term gratifications.
Thank you, Dennis, the African Council, for the accepting our invitation to our great Leaders TV.
I'm so grateful too.
Thanks.